Good evening and welcome to the Daily Voice, presented by VNN. Bringing you today's top 5 Canadian news stories on April 29th, 2025. Let's get started. Mark Carney's victory in the 2025 federal election signals a dramatic shift in Canadian politics. With US President Donald Trump escalating a trade war, Canadian voters back the man they believe is best prepared for the storm. As a former central banker and global crisis manager, Carney built his campaign on economic credibility, and it paid off. Canadians clearly saw him as the steady hand to navigate these volatile times. His first priority? Defending the economy against US tariffs. That includes a $2 billion fund to shield the auto sector and $5 billion to diversify trade away from American dependence. Domestically, Carney's got a packed agenda. First, the housing crisis. He's promising to double Canada's home building rate, aiming for 500,000 new homes a year. On the tax front, middle-class Canadians will see a cut. The lowest bracket will drop from 15% to 14%. He's also scrapping Trudeau's consumer carbon levy and expanding dental care access. One of the biggest moves? A new national electricity grid. It's a bold attempt to make Canada more energy independent, both cleaner and less reliant on the US grid. Carney's government is also pushing Canada to assert itself on the world stage. He's committed to boosting defense spending to meet NATO's 2% GDP target. That means $18 billion for submarines, Arctic icebreakers, and northern defenses. Moves meant to protect Canadian sovereignty, especially in light of growing tensions with Russia and China. The message is clear. Canada is preparing to stand more independently in global affairs. The 2025 election also made history in terms of representation. A record 24 Indian-origin MPs were elected, including familiar names like Anita Anand and Bardish Chagga, as well as rising stars like Sukhman Singh Gill, one of the youngest MPs ever. But not everyone celebrated. Jagmeet Singh and the NDP suffered a major collapse. Singh lost his own riding in Burnaby and stepped down as leader, as the party now risks losing official party status. Meanwhile, Pierre Poilievre's Conservatives, despite early polling leads and a bump in the popular vote, failed to form government. Poilievre himself lost his longtime Carleton seat, another major political upset. Carney's already looking ahead. He's expected to name a leaner, more modern cabinet, featuring names like Carlos Leitão and former Vancouver Mayor Gregor Robertson. Parliament will reconvene by late May to pass his first budget, delivering on tax cuts, ending the carbon levy, and launching internal trade reforms. On the international front, Carney's headed into a storm. He'll be front and center at the upcoming G7 summit in Alberta, where he'll face Trump, push back on trade aggression, and reaffirm Canada's support for Ukraine by hosting President Zelensky himself. This summit could define his early leadership. Ontario is taking car theft more seriously than ever. The Ford government has unveiled legislation allowing police to seize electronic devices like fob programmers and hacking apps used in vehicle thefts. Transportation Minister Prabmeet Sarkaria made the announcement in Brampton, calling it a direct strike against organized crime. While legitimate use by mechanics and dealers will be exempt, anyone caught misusing these devices will face stiff penalties. The new law comes after Ontario saw a 16% drop in auto thefts in 2024. Progress officials credit to targeted prosecutions and regional enforcement teams. Peel Region alone reported a staggering 45% drop in the first quarter of 2025, equal to nearly $60 million in saved property. The message is clear. The days of high-tech car theft in Ontario are numbered. Canada just witnessed one of its most energized elections in recent history. More than 19.2 million Canadians cast their ballots, pushing national turnout to over 67%, a major jump from 62.6% last time. While still shy of the 1958 record, this year's election saw voters deeply engaged in issues from trade wars to housing affordability. The Liberals, led by Mark Carney, captured 43.6% of the vote and are projected to form government with 168 seats, just short of a majority. The Conservatives came close with 144 seats and 41.4% of the vote. The big picture? Canadians turned out in droves, and they voted for experience, stability, and economic resilience. It's a historic day for South Asians in Canada. A record-breaking 24 Indian-origin candidates were elected to Parliament in 2025, marking a powerful rise in political representation. Liberals like Anita Anand and Bardish Chaga held strong, while young Conservative Sukhman Singh Gill stunned the nation as one of the youngest MPs ever at just 25. But the moment was bittersweet. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh lost his Burnaby riding and announced his resignation after his party fell to just 7 seats, losing official status. The election highlights a major realignment in Canadian politics. South Asian voices are stronger than ever, but Singh's fall signals the end of an era. A new era for India-Canada relations may be on the horizon. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated Mark Carney on his election win, breaking a long diplomatic freeze that defined Trudeau's final years in office. The two leaders now have a rare window to rebuild trust after years of tensions. Carney has already pledged to reset ties, and the collapse of Jagmeet Singh's NDP removes a key obstacle. With